To understand the concepts of permutations and combinations, it is crucial to first understand two fundamental principles of counting. These are 1. The principle of addition. 2. The principle of multiplication. These principles form the foundation for solving problems related to counting. Alright, let's dive into the first principle we need to understand when exploring the concept of permutations and combinations: the principle of addition. In simple terms, the principle of addition tells us how to count the number of ways to perform a task when there are two or more independent options available. Definition: if there are two jobs that can be performed independently in m ways and n ways, respectively, then either of the two jobs can be performed in the sum of m and n ways. The diagram illustrates the concept of the principle of addition in terms of jobs, which can be broken down into smaller subjobs. J is the primary job that needs to be performed. J1 and J2 represent subjobs that the primary job can be divided into. The diagram shows that the primary job J can be completed by performing either J1 or J2 represented by the OR. Finally, when you see OR between two subjobs, it means you have a choice between the two, and therefore, you apply the principle of addition by summing the ways to perform each subjob. Let's break it down with an illustration. In a class there are 15 boys and 10 girls. The teacher wants to select either a boy or a girl to represent the class in a function. In how many ways can the teacher make this selection? Now, let's see how this works. The primary job of the teacher, J, is to select either a boy or girl. It has two subjobs. Subjob J1 is selecting a boy, and subjob J2 is selecting a girl. There are 15 boys to choose from. Each boy is a different option. So, there are 15 ways to perform J1. Therefore, the number of ways to perform J1 is equal to 15. Similarly, there are 10 girls to choose from. Each girl is a different option. So, there are 10 ways to perform J2. Therefore, the number of ways to perform J2 is equal to 10. Since OR is used here between selecting a boy or a girl, we apply the principle of addition. Therefore, the number of ways to select either a boy or girl is equal to the number of ways to perform J. That is the sum of the number of ways to perform J1 and the number of ways to perform J2. That is equal to the sum of 15 and 10, which is 25. Hence the teacher can select either boy or girl in 25 ways.